Hello, my name is Augusto Ortega. I am from Celis RW4 Group. I'm going to talk to you about story. But first, I will ask you a question. Have you ever stolen someone's personality? Well, Alexander Pushkin thinks this is a good way to meet someone you're not supposed to meet. Alexander Sergeyevich Pushkin was born in Moscow, 6th of June, 1799. He was from a wealthy noble family. He used to speak French normally, but he got interested into Russian and Russian culture because of his grandmother. When he was young, he was a really bad student, although he spent a lot of time in his father's library reading. After he graduated from school, he started to work in the External Affairs Ministry. There, he got into trouble because he questioned the Tsar authority. He was sent away to a gypsy community really far from Moscow. And in there, he acquired pretty bad habits like cheating people and gambling. Because of this behavior, he was sent away from the gypsy community and put into military school. In military school, he had trouble because he flirted with the general's daughter. He was sent away again and put into house arrest to his father's house. This was in the countryside. At that time, a rebellion came to Russia, and the Tsar was replaced by another Tsar, but this new Tsar, named Nicholas I, really enjoyed Pushkin's work. So he released Pushkin and asked him to return to the External Affairs Ministry. Uh, in 1831, he married to Natalia Goncharova. This was said to be the most beautiful woman in St. Petersburg. From 1831 to 1833, it was a really productive time for Pushkin. He wrote a lot of things at that time, and he started to become really wealthy and had a lot of children with his wife. In 1836, he started to publish a magazine. This magazine was called the Contemporary Magazine, and it was a pretty big thing at the time. Um, After several years, a problem happened. The thing here is that a military French captain started to hang out with his wife, and Pushkin wasn't pleased with that, so he demanded a duel with the French captain. In the duel, Pushkin was given a weapon without bullets, so the captain won the duel, and Pushkin was injured in the chest by a bullet. He died the next day at the age of 36. Well, this was a short life for Pushkin. And now I'm going to talk to you about the story. The story is called An Amateur Peasant Girl. This takes place in a place like this. This house, a big house from rich people. Um, Around the house, there's a forest and a lot of land. And this house is next to a house like this. This is a really big house also, from a wealthy family too, a noble family actually. And these two houses are owned by two men who are widowed men They are rich and they are noble. In this story happens to be five major characters. This man is the owner of one of the houses. This man really enjoys Russian traditional things like drinking vodka and going hunting. And he has a son. This is his son. His son's name is Alexei, and Alexei has just returned from overseas. He went to college, and he's new in town, so he's like the the new thing in town. He's really popular, and he's really handsome also. We have the neighbor, this man, and he is rich also, and he really likes British culture. So he dressed up like a British man, and he enjoys take care of his gardens. He has a daughter. She's his daughter. Uh, she's named Lisa. Lisa is 19 years old. She is beautiful and she's really smart. She likes to know everything so she can predict what people may do in the future. Her best friend, Nastya, is her chambermaid. Nastya is also popular in town because of her job, and she is the one who meets Alexei from this house. And I'm pointing out so because these two men are not in good terms. Despite their neighbors, they don't talk to each other and they don't like each other. So their families don't get along. Um, Lisa is really interested in know who is Alexei and why people are talking too much about him. So Lisa decides to steal someone's personality, and well, things happen. I'm going to read the passage of the book that tells you about a little bit about the story. So it says like this. The next morning, almost before it was dawn, Lisa was already awake. Everybody in the house was still asleep. Nastya went to the gate to wait for the shepherd. The sound of a horn was heard, and the village flock defiled past the manor house. Trophim, when passing by Nastya, gave her a small pair of colored blast shoes, and received from her half-ruble in exchange. Lisa quietly dressed herself in the peasant's costume, whispered her instructions to Nastya, which refers to Miss Jackson, descended the back staircase, and made her way through the garden into the field beyond. The eastern sky was all aglow, and the golden lines of clouds seemed to be awaiting the sun, like conquerors await their monarch. The bright sky, the freshness of the morning, the dew, the light breeze, and the singing of the birds filled the heart of Lisa with childish joy. The fear of meeting some acquaintance seemed to give her wings, for she flew rather than walked. But as she approached the wood which formed the boundary of her father's estate, she slackened her pace. Here she resolved to wait for Alexei. Her heart beat violently. She knew not why, but it is not the fear which accompanies our youthful escapades that which constitutes their greatest charm. Lisa advanced into the depth of the wood. The deep murmur of the waving branches seemed to welcome the young girl. Her gaiety vanished. Little by little she abandoned herself to sweet reveries. She thought, but who can say exactly what a young lady of 19 thinks of, alone in a wood at 6 o'clock at a spring morning? Well, I hope this helps you to imagine a little bit about the story and encouraged you to read the story. Um, I decided to show you this passage because of the topic of the Autumn's Festival this year, 2012. And it's about trips and literature. Uh, I should say that the trips are not just physical but emotional. And I think this story really shows you an example of, yes, she's going away to meet someone, but also this situation that turns out to happen between Lisa and Alexei. It's, in my opinion, a trip into growing up of a teenager. Well, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy reading. Goodbye.